Faces on paper, curled at the edges, names said once and swallowed by time. Rooms went quiet, streets moved on. Something about this never died. Cold hands on cold files, dust where the truth should be. Every lie leaves a footprint, every monster bleeds eventually. For the missing that never came home, for the cases they tried to forget, for the killers counting days in the dark, thinking they're done with that. We keep digging, keep the light on.
All right. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning, evening, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. My name is 12 Gauge. Welcome to my channel, 12 Gauge Investigative. This morning we're going to do a little bit of something different. I kind of did this last year. I'm going to do it the same this year, I guess, so that almost like a yearly tradition almost. I'm going to restream the New York Christmas parade so everybody can see and be a part of the experience. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so I don't get copyrighted, but I'll comment nonetheless. Here we go. As you can see right there, there's the gingerbread house. I love these things because they're always awesome. Always awesome. They have plenty of floats that are very, very awesomely done. There's another gingerbread house. That's just the detail. Here's Santa's flag. Like I said, the detail is tremendous. There you have some snow falling. Let's blow this thing quickly. Maybe we'll slow it down just a little bit. To breathe. Is awesomely done. Awesomely done. I think it's amazing how the snow is like coming down on both sides and how cold it looks in New York at this time of year. It is foggy and about 50 something here. Okay, we have Rudolph. And of course, Merry Christmas to you as well. Of course, you have the Nutcracker. You have the Snowman. I hope you're doing well, that you're having a wonderful morning. There's some more snowmen. Can't get enough of the snowman. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up watching this stuff. I'd be at my grandma's house waiting for, obviously people to show up so we could have gifts and stuff, but um, we ended up watching the parade, and it was like a yearly thing. So it's just something that it became tradition. And I guess once you have that tradition thing going on, it's hard to break it. But the floats weren't as fancy as they are today, for real. I mean, I'm just mesmerized by all the detail that goes along with these floats. I mean, they look so realistic, from the bows to the bells to the trees. And it's wonderful to see people having a good time, because that's what the season is for. Is the season of grace. I mean, there's more definitive reasons why we have the season, but I want to get into the religious aspect. Looks like people are enjoying themselves for sure. Look at that house. Wow. It just blows my mind, the ability to just have every detail just standing out. I know I'm like a little kid right now. Like I said, I've always enjoyed this for some reason. I guess because my grandma would be there, and family, if we watch it, be like, okay, the countdown begins. Once we watch this, then we get to open gifts. So that's probably what it is all about. Look at that. Look at that. That is amazing. Good morning to anybody who's watching and not in the chat. Hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. Can you imagine having a wreath like that out on your front lawn? Be amazing, wouldn't it? Plenty of Christmas trees. It looks like it's pretty cold there. So beautiful.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
So I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Wow. I think this is just the basic, not basic, but this is the New York City parade, and then you have the Macy's Day Parade. I think they're totally different. That's why there's not a lot of floats, like balloons and stuff like that. I think that's why there's a difference. I'm not sure. Look at that wreath. Wow. Now I'm like, whoa. I'm like a kid right now. I know I am, but it's just awesome to me to see all this stuff. Like, there's something. time you try to do it all, there's always something falling, something not functioning correctly. And there is a Dalmatian tigers. Wow. Wormus, have you ever been to New York City? Have you ever wanted to go to New York to watch a parade like this? I know I have, and I mean, I've been to a lot of parades, but nothing compares. Nothing compares to this. There's Santa. Santa Claus. If you are having a coffee or your breakfast, I hope that you're enjoying it. I've yet to eat breakfast this morning. Just kind of showered and hopped on here. Because, like I said, this is becoming a yearly tradition for me. So it's something that I really enjoy. And there you have Santa Claus again. I know that there's probably a lag going on, so if I'm going ahead of what it's showing, please be patient. But they have people getting cocoa or candy not candy, coffee as they drive by. Look at that, Thomas the Train. That is pretty awesome. Man. Makes me want to go to New York City for Christmas or New Year's Eve. Really does. Wow, that looks like it's really burning. That is too cool. Wow. That one reminds me of the ice formation from the movie Superman. Now we have a castle going by. Man, this is magical for sure. That's just awesome, awesome. Can you imagine being a little kid and being alive during this time when you see this type of stuff and it looks so freaking realistic? Looks like Santa's like really right there. I can't imagine being little and watching this stuff. I'm excited as a full grown man. Can't imagine being a kid. I'd be going insane. Like, I don't know. It's just so, but I've always had a fascination with like the glittery lights and I guess the pageantry of things. This is real. This is real. It's really a stream. I didn't, as far as I can tell, it's real. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I bet it was cold during that time too, wasn't it? I hear Detroit gets really cold in the winter. I think the clip that I'm watching, um, they have it clipped because I think they did it live and they clipped it during different things. That's why it looks like there's a break in the filming. But it looks definitely real to me. I mean, if you look at the real big screen, let me put the big screen on here so people can see it. See, it looks totally different when you see the whole picture. I mean, the movement of people looks really, really fluid. You know what I mean? It doesn't really look made up. Look at that freaking wow! That is too freaking cool. I've never been to New York, so I can't verify whether this is like what street this is down, but you can see it says 77th Avenue on one of these signs. Just awesome to see. People are excited. Another train. This is amazing. I hope you are enjoying it. I don't know. I could see why people would think this was AI. Let me pause this and go to something else. I could see why people think that. That's okay. Let's watch this one. I could see where that would look AI. You're right. Watch this one. This one's from Raleigh, North Carolina.
I didn't have to. Yeah, we led all major takers on the bar exam this summer. We're very proud of that. What it says is we have an incredibly rigorous curriculum. And if you do as we ask when you come to law school here, you're going to be
Let's speed
successful.
this one up.
Couldn't be prouder of my school. We take
And why
This community.
Let's kind of speed this one up to get it going. They look bored. I guess this is drone footage overhead, Raleigh, North Carolina. Total different look. Not as cold. It still look cold, but I mean, you can't see any snow or anything.
Time now is 9:14 as you look live at downtown Raleigh, and we see marching bands and dancers and other community groups getting in the lineup for the Raleigh Christmas Parade. And we're under partly cloudy skies, a mild start. Temperatures are in the mid 60s. This will definitely be
Get on
one
with
of
the
the
parade.
warmer parades that we've had.
Hunter? Happy holidays from William G. Enlow High School.
Merry Christmas, Melissa.
Let's listen to the Enlow High School Emerald Eagles.
Merry Christmas. I hope everything's going well in your neck of the woods. What I always think is cool about these other parades where they have the marching band and stuff is how in sync they are, like how fluid they are. Their marching, their sound and everything. It's just amazing to me. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I was watching the New York City one, but it was brought to my attention it may have been AI, and I was looking at it further, and it did look a little AI-ish, so I decided to change it to the Raleigh, North Carolina one. And this looks more indicative of a parade.
Charity Ball is a student-run organization that strives to inspire and impact the community. They donate money to area nonprofits like Urban Ministries, Learning Together, Autism Society of North Carolina, and the Partnership to End Homelessness. And this year's event is the 20th anniversary of both the Enloe Charity Ball and
20th
this year's
anniversary.
beneficiary Note in the Pocket. You can learn more and donate at enloecharityBall.org. They are alive with purpose and alive with holiday spirit. Hey there.
That's what it's about, right? Holiday spirit and
Very festive at the same
and
time.
grace. Good morning, everybody from Texas. This is 12 Gauge Investigative. I was showing a little bit of the New York City one, but it looked to be AI generated. So I decided to change to the Raleigh, North Carolina one.
Rolling down the road to make sure everyone's safe. It's nice we had a moment to recognize them for all they do for us, keeping the capital safe here.
It's currently 54 degrees here in Texas. I don't know how cold or how warm it is where you might be. So maybe if you watch this on repeat or if you're watching currently in chat, drop the temperature where you're at. Let us know.
So this flag team travels on horseback. They are from Raleigh, Carousel Farms. Just
Those horses are
decked out
beautiful.
with holiday spirit. Love the wreaths around
Merry
the
Christmas, Jeff
horses.
H.
They are a
We're
fixture
coming
in
to you from
the
Raleigh, North Carolina. It is 39 degrees.
Dangerous
Wow.
riders must be able to ride with one
Pennsylvania.
hand.
39 degrees in Pennsylvania, y'all.
Yeah, very
It
talented.
is 54 here.
Carousel Farms host rodeos with barrel racing and bull riding.
And, you know, this is a good thing. The holiday spirit is here. Obviously, giving is important, but this is a good time to remind you that for over 35 years, you have helped WRAL's Coach for the Children keep local families warm.
Of the Drive here in Raleigh. They've been in the Raleigh Christmas Parade since the school opened in 1978. So a
Wow.
fan favorite of the parade. Oh, and a fun fact here, children of Gerald Owens and Amy Wilman attended Athens
Wow.
Drive High School. Amy's son graduated from there and was in the marching band, and now Amy's daughter Bailey goes to school at Athens Drive.
A lot of history between WRAL's team and Athens Drive, it turns out. And it's great being able to hear them sitting up where we are here outside Campbell University's law school. Very good vantage point where we are. Here to March.
But you can see the differences in the smaller towns. I mean, you don't have as much floats and stuff like that.
I love this.
But they're a lot more personable, you know. You have a lot more personable, a lot more people coming out to listen to the music, you know, to come out and just support the community in everything that it's doing. And like they say, this is the 20th annual. And think about the traditions that are made within families. It's kind of like, well, we went to this, grandparents went to this, their parents went to this. You know, it's a tradition for a lot of families to go to parades. Some of these things need to be continued to pass along because we are slowly diminishing the traditions that a lot of us grew up with. And like I was saying in the other one, you know, I used to wake up and watch the parades either at my grandma's or, you know, my aunt's house. waiting on everybody to wake up before we open gifts. So you have to do something to keep yourself occupied, so what better way to do it than to watch other people in different parts of the country, and the floats and stuff like that. It was always very, very interesting early in, when you're a youth. And there we have a radio flyer wagon. I don't know if you guys remember that, but some of you might be too young to remember the radio flyer. But the radio flyer wagon was one of the mainstays of Americana. Many of us had these red wagons that we use as trucks and dump trucks and everything else. We would use them, might tie a rope to them. Somebody had a bicycle, you'd have somebody in the radio flyer while you were pedaling the bike. A little bit of excitement, nostalgia there for you. I don't know if you've ever experienced that type of joy as being in that radio flyer red wagon flying on the back of a tied up to a bicycle. It's very thrilling as a young child. And there's the Grand Marshal, Derek Wittenberg. There's a bigger band right there. Bigger band. I'm trying to think of what that is. North Carolina State right there. North Carolina State University. NC State. For those of you that are popping in and out, this is a different parade. This is coming from Raleigh, North Carolina. The one from New York was AI generated, and I misinterpreted the footage for a while, but thanks to somebody in the chat, I looked at it more than once, and it was AI. Wasn't real, which is sad. It's sad that people would do that. I was getting all into it. And look at the detail on all these floats and stuff. Now I can see why they were so realistic. I've never been in North Carolina, South Carolina. Hopefully one day I'll get there. I hear it's very beautiful. Any of you from that area, please let me know in the comments or in the chat. We have one from Pennsylvania. We have another one from that area in the East Coast. Currently in Pennsylvania, it's 39 degrees. It is currently 54 degrees here in Texas, and it seems to be warming up. It's quite foggy, overcast. Let me know what your favorite part of parade, what parades are. Like if you've actually been to one in person, if it's a tradition for you, what's your favorite part of being at a parade? Okay. Jeff 8 says a couple times I've crossed the border from Virginia over to North Carolina. I have friends that live at the border in Emporia, Virginia. Okay. What's your favorite part of being at a parade or at a function such as this? Because we're losing that part of our society. There's a lot of people that don't like to be out and about anymore. And I believe that that's sad. It's a deteriorating factor in our communities. But I'm glad to see that this is still going on and there's still people showing up, because this has been such a huge tradition for our country for a lot of years. Miss North Carolina Scholarship Organization. I assume most people go to parades and hope that those big balloons might pop. Yeah, possibly. I know it takes a lot of time to make these floats. I've had friends that were on committees that made floats. It's not as easy as it looks. I mean, they take the time and the artistic value to get the details just right. And I've been to New Orleans where they do the New Year's Eve parades, and if you've never been to New Orleans during New Year's Eve, you might book that as a bucket list for yourself, because that is a very awesome time of year down there. I know you were, Jeff. There we see the Grinch driving the motorcycle. Tobacco Road, Harley Davidson. I wonder if that's the band Tobacco Road. I saw them down in Panama City performing on a July 4th. They were very, very good band. So if you've never heard of them, they're called Tobacco Road. Check them out on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. About a southern rock kind of country sound. Very good group. It's always cool to see the Grinch or Santa Claus on a motorcycle. And here we have what looks to be like some kind of club. Disney World parades are amazing. I bet they are. The American Legion. Here we have the American Legion float going by. Like I said, many people don't, or they take for granted how people make these floats so easy and so amazing. It takes a lot of time. A lot of time and a lot of energy, because there's safety involved in all this. That's awesome. I'm sure the security is a lot more heightened in these areas as well, due to all the craziness in our countries and all the people that are just aiming to harm people, especially during the holidays. I like the trees in the streets. It does look Christmassy, you know. I live in an area where there's not a lot of trees, so when I see trees like that lining the streets, and it's, it looks homey, I guess. It really excites me, because I'm from an area that doesn't have a lot of trees, so you can understand how seeing trees like that is a sight to be seen. And there you have the marching band. Like I said, everything is choreographed, and it's like, how can you be so pristine if you don't rehearse this? You know what I mean? There we have Frosty There's some semblance of a snowman walking down the street. We have an individual singing. Like I said, I have to keep the sound down because YouTube is very copyright happy these days. There we have the Exotic Car Club. We have a car with Lamborghini doors. I believe that's a Porsche 911. Off to the left there. Looks like a Lamborghini right there. It'd be nice to own a car like that, but I'd be freaking. See how low to the ground effects are? I've had a vehicle with ground effect that low, and it's hard to park just anywhere because you misguide something, you're cracking those ground effects. Now that car is pretty sweet right there. The same with the black one right there. The guy with the Santa Claus hat driving it. Okay. Bobblehead doll. I don't know if y'all can hear the dove. If you can, then this mic picks up a lot of sound. If you do hear a dog barking, it's not Murphy. Had to throw that in there. Just a random dog barking. It is not Murphy. I repeat, it is not Murphy. I'd like to go to one of these parades one year. You asked me why I'm home on Christmas. Well, I'm awaiting my parents to come over, and we're gonna do some gift exchanges here in a little bit. Plus, I'm on call, so I have to do something to pass the time until people get here. That said, if you're a woman over 40, you can join us. So the Women Over 40 Club. You hear a dog barking? I repeat, that is not Murphy. I repeat, that is not Murphy. And some of you will get that and some of you won't. Uh-oh. They're going to play some double dutch. There we go. Look at her go. I believe there might be someone here. I'm going to go ahead and conclude my live because I believe there's somebody here. I hope y'all have an amazing Christmas day and a wonderful New Year. I'll probably be back on tomorrow or so. Let the Christmas time, spend it with your family and not spend it online. if you don't have anybody during these holidays, I hope you find somebody that gives you a little bit of joy during this holiday season. I'm extending my hand out to each and every one of you. May you have a joyous holiday season. Be safe out there. Take care of yourself. My name is 12 Gauge. This is my channel, 12 Gauge Investigative. I hope you tell people about the channel. Maestro, cue that music.